Okay, so just a quick video today to play around a little bit with some of the captures that Rhett Shull recently created of this 1974 Marshall Super Lead that he borrowed from a friend. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link to it in the description below. It's a very interesting discussion about kind of the difference between the longevity of digital devices versus analog devices. But as part of that video, he went through the process of capturing that Marshall, and he posted those onto the Cortex cloud for free, so I figured I'd download them and check them out. I really liked how they sounded in the video. So I just grabbed the 3 captures that are there, and I threw them in a quick preset. I wanted to run through them today and just kind of talk about how they sound. So if we look at the preset here, it's pretty simple. We've got our 3 captures. So they're all called Ford 74 Super Lead. He's got a push, which is kind of a relatively lower gain. None of these are clean. It's a Marshall after all. You've got a rhythm, a little more gain, and then you've got a dime, which is a lot more gain. And this is a modified Super Lead, so it's got quite a bit of gain on hand. Although I wouldn't consider it a high gain amp. It's just kind of getting maybe towards, maybe a little bit towards like the Marshall kind of JCM 800 kind of thing. And then I wrapped it in a basic preset here. I've got some basic overdrives up front with maybe a little bit EQ. We'll talk about in a second. In terms of the cab, I'm using the V12 Mesa Boogie V30s 03. So this is one of my favorite ones for kind of gainier tones. I had started out trying some of the Marshall IRs from Amalgam, the Marshall 4x12s, but these captures are pretty treble heavy, as you would expect from some Marshall tones. And I like them better with kind of the mid-focus V30. It warms them up a little bit. And as you can see here, we've got our standard 70 hertz to 6,000 hertz high-pass filter and low-pass filter just to kind of tame the rough ends of the EQ. And then we've got a tape delay, trying to keep it old school. And we've got a Mind Hall reverb. Up front, I've got my capture of the Archer icon. This is something I use a lot. It's that claw and push, mid-push kind of sound. I have a Nobel OD1 here, mostly because I recently bought one of the OD1 mini pedals to go with my Tone King Imperial preamp pedal. And I've been digging on that a lot, so I'm kind of in that OD1 phase. And then I've got an EQ here for cutting some of the low end, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. So let's go ahead and hear how these captures sound. So for the push, I am pulling back the treble a little bit and pushing the bass just to warm it up, but it's still a pretty trebly kind of tone. Good amount of top end, but when you hit it with a humbucker, it kind of warms up a little bit. So it's not too piercing with a humbucker. With a single coil on the bridge, it might get a little spiky. And then I'm boosting that with the OD1, and I don't have much drive on it. Pushing the spectrum a little bit, pushing the level a little bit. And this was the opening lead tone in the playing you heard. So sounds really good, kind of a strat neck pickup kind of position. But even on the bridge humbucker, it sounds pretty good. And then the rhythm tone just has a little more gain to it, and it's warming up a little bit, as Marshalls do when you kind of raise the gain. And then for the boosted on the rhythm, again, I'm adding in the OD1. I pulled the spectrum back a little bit, and I'm pulling the drive back a little bit. And I'm adding this high-pass filter because the OD1 pedal that I have, and the OD1X, which is kind of the newer version of the OD1, has a bass reduction feature in it. And I've been really liking that on the real pedal. And so the closest I could come to kind of mimicking that was just to put a high pass filter right here. I've got it at 250 Hertz. Again, we're just cutting off the super low end just to give it, you know, a little bit of a bass cut, a little bit maybe more clarity when you're down. We turn it off. It's a subtle difference, but I kind of liked it. And I'm really liking the bass cut feature on the OD1 pedal I have, so I was trying to mimic it. And then the dime tone. Classic Marshall gain. And then kind of the higher gain lead tone you heard in the playing, all I'm doing is I'm kicking that with the Archer icon, which again is kind of a clone. So it's nice for that kind of a nice lead tone there. And then I got a couple of versions of the lead where I'm combining both the Archer icon and the OD1. So this is into the rhythm capture. And then this is with a dime. So this is kind of the highest gain. So I really enjoyed kind of using these captures. If you're looking for a nice kind of, I would consider a mid-gain Marshall kind of tone, so maybe a little bit more than the Plexi, but not quite into the higher gain Marshalls, I think this is a good kind of middle ground. And I think he did a really good job of capturing this. And I'm thankful that he captured it as a DI rather than including the cab. From his video, he says, you know, that's what he does all the time. And I really appreciate that because I like using my own art. I like picking my own cabinets for a lot of these captures. So these captures are on his Cortex Cloud account. You can download them, or I'll make this preset available on my Cortex Cloud account. And when you download my preset, you'll get his captures automatically. So like I said, I just wanted to download these and check them out. I'm really kind of digging them, kind of in pure Marshall kind of tones. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching.